Hi guys, this video we're going to be having a look at the Neca Highlander Medieval box set. Now, the light's a bit too bright there. For me, this is a very underrated box set, to be honest. Absolutely fantastic. Obviously got a good open window on there. Obviously got Connor and the Kurgan down the bottom there, and you can see inside quite clearly the two figures and Connor's shield on there. On that end of that box, obviously got the Kurgan. On the back, got a picture of the two figures together. Obviously medieval castle look in the background, obviously with the lightning and everything from where they had their fight, and on the back it says, "There can be only one. The classic battle in toy form is finally here." So I was trying to read that wiggly Y on the end there. Medieval Kurgan versus Medieval MacLeod on the battlefield. Figures are highly detailed and movie accurate, with two bases that can be joined together or posed separately. And obviously Connor MacLeod on the back side there. On the top it just says Highlander Medieval box set, and on the back, on the bottom, obviously just Highlander. Just trying to see if there's a stamp. Can't see a stamp, to be honest, but it says 2006 on the bottom there, so whether they were released in 2006 I don't honestly know, to be honest. So if you're looking for this box set, that's obviously what you're looking for. Now for me, if I did have a problem with it, the box kind of looks like you're getting more for your money than you actually are, to be honest. As brilliant as this is, there's obviously just the two figures with their swords, the bases and the shield in there. So what you end up with is obviously Connor MacLeod and the Kurgan there. I'm just going to take this out of the back, just so that light's obviously reflecting on it and you can't see the figures as well. So anyway, now this is what in that. So what I was just trying to say is, in that big box, this is essentially what you've got. So they do like to spread it all about a bit, but what I mean by that is, when you see the Halloween, the Night He Came Home box set, it looks a lot in there, and obviously once you've got it all out, it looks quite impressive and quite big. But the same with the Jason 25th anniversary Friday the 13th one with the shroud to his mum. But this just it doesn't look as much once you get it out of box, to be honest. But what I will say is, it does not take away from it what a fantastic set this is. I don't know why, but for some reason they're either very hard to get hold of on eBay, or they're very easy. You're going to be looking round about £20, to be honest. You can get a bargain here or there, to be honest, but if you pay £20 for these, you're done all right, to be honest. For me though, you could be paying more, to be honest, because they're absolutely fantastic. I don't know why they it's sort of like a bit of an injustice, if you ask me, why they're not as sought after, but they very rarely come up as well. So if you are looking for it, you're going to be looking for it for quite a while until one pops up, and then I dare say if one pops up, they all suddenly start popping up. But let's have a look at the figures. First of all, let's obviously have a look at Connor. Now that is a fantastic sculpt of Connor MacLeod there, Christopher Lambert, or Lambert, I should say, I guess. Now, obviously he comes on this on the base, so the articulation in terms of where you put his feet, there isn't much option. So I'm just going to take him off his base there, and you can see the base is quite well detailed and all. There's obviously all little bits of grass and rocks and things on there. Just having a quick, yeah, 2006, so I was right. Now, the Connor figure, for me, it's sort of a softer plastic to what you used to get. I mean, even when I talk about the Kurgan, it's a hard plastic. It's a sort of a softery plastic it feels, to be honest. I don't know why. I don't know if it's to do with the joints or what, but for some reason there's like a little bit of play in the plastic on this figure. Loads of articulation on him. You can move his legs, rotate his legs, the waist on there, obviously in his shoulders and in his elbows. It's not all ball jointed though, it's all just swivel joints. Obviously in his wrist, same on this side, and of course his head. Obviously his sword as well is very well detailed, obviously movie accurate. There's loads of detail going on in there. And his shield, obviously he's got all the detail on that side, and the effort that's even gone into doing the wood and the strap on the handle and the little buckles and everything on here is absolutely brilliant. This gets 10 out of 10 in terms of detail for me. I just cannot fault it in any way whatsoever. If I had one complaint about this figure whatsoever, if I had to complain about it, if you said no, I want you to find something wrong, for me it just seems that the sword is a little bit too big for him. I mean, even the detail gone into the damage on the end of the sword, where it's obviously seen caused in battles and all that. But for me, like I say, if I had to find, if you said no, I want you to find anything wrong with this figure, for me it'd be, I just feel the sword is a little bit too big for him to be able to hold. Well, not to be able to hold, but when you look at the Kurgan sword and how big he is, it's the same size, but it doesn't look, for the scale of the Kurgan, his sword looks the right size for him. For Connor, it just looks like, whoa, you're gonna have arms like Arnie to swing that bugger around. But that's just me trying to find something wrong with this, to be honest. It's absolutely nothing wrong with this figure in any way whatsoever, if you ask me. The detail gone into all his undergarments there, the inside of his cloak is even detailed. Cannot fault that any way whatsoever. And then we get onto the Kurgan, which for me is the highlight of this box set as well. As great as I found Connor, Kurgan's absolutely brilliant. I do like how the Kurgan is sort of in a stance as if to say, right, let's do this. But Connor looks a bit more relaxed, as if to say, yeah, come on then, you know, I've read the script, I know I win. But the Kurgan, I would have preferred, I guess, Connor to be in more of a bit of a stance, as if to say, bring it on, you know, I'm taking your head off, sort of thing. But okay, let's start with it. Let's talk about the Kurgan. Obviously, he comes on his similar base. The detail on there again is faultless. We've got a skull. Quite where that comes from, I don't know. Obviously damaged. Don't recall the skulls being on the floor, but gives him a bit of a more nastier look to him. The detail that has gone into all his armour, the little dragony type skull over his boot there. Again, the buckles, the armour is just faultless in terms of detail. I cannot praise this box set enough. Absolutely love the fact that they've gone for real sort of feathers as opposed to trying to sculpt that. Just gives it another little even better look than I guess a sculpted look would have come, you know, which you know, this is obviously made out of fur and stuff and sculpted, but they've thought, no, we're going to go for real feathers on this. Now in terms of his articulation, there's nothing from the waist down, to be honest. There's nothing you can do with that whatsoever. He's got waist articulation, as in swivel at the top there from this section here. His arms obviously up and down, elbows, rotate the wrists, and his head. Now these parts are loose as well, which I guess is just a case of just get them into position where you want them, and that's that. And of course he's got his very well detailed sword, and of course there's little chips and bits out the end there where he's had his battles. I love the skull armour he's got going on there, but again, absolutely faultless in terms of the detail gone into this figure. This is again a soft cape as well there, but for me this is probably one of Neca's finest sculpts. I was watching the remake, or the reimagining Nightmare on Elm Street the other day, the 2010 version, and I was sitting there watching it thinking, I know the dad, the guy that works in the school, and I had to check. I couldn't figure out who the hell he was or where I knew him from, and then I found out on IMDb that it was obviously this guy that played the Kurgan, so legend in those terms. But yeah, that is an absolute brilliant sculpt of a figure, if you ask me. Cannot fault it. And it just simply does not get the credit it deserves. But, you know, that's my opinion. You may totally disagree, and you might have preferred a modern day Connor and a modern day Kurgan. I dare say if these sold as well as Neca probably hoped they would have done that. But sadly, this is all we have in figure form of the Highlander series so far. But anyway, thanks for listening to me waffle on. Obviously I appreciate all your comments, and I really appreciate you watching. Please subscribe, and I'll catch you again soon. Take care guys, bye bye.